Well, here we go. Yo, what up, though, man? Gumbo in the building, super producer in the building, man. Probably one of Dallas' best kept jewels, man. It may not even get the recognition that you deserve, but now it's here. Plaque's coming in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gumbo, how you doing, man?
I'm well, man. I'm well. I'm doing good. I'm well.
Hey, man, you look well. Obviously, you're doing well.
Thank you.
And this first time we had a conversation almost 2 years, man. So I'm excited to sit down and let's get to it.
It's been a minute, man. I've been knowing you for a long time, too.
Yeah, man. What, 2012? 13?
11 or 12. It was around that time. Yeah, we were neighbors, man, the businesses.
For sure.
Yeah.
And kind of let's touch on that before we go on to the journey, man. Like, most people don't realize that Sunbelt letterpress building
Of a Leo.
it's kind of like Dallas Hitsville.
Man.
If you look at what came out of that building.
Yeah, I mean, even like Say Cheese, I remember them being there. Like a lot of us big artists and, you know, who's growing big now, they came from that little area over there in Dallas.
For sure, because you remember me, Say Cheese, 106, 105.
Right.
Real Life Street Stars,
Right.
107.
Right.
You, Flame, and Legacy.
Concept Works.
Concept
Yeah.
Works. I was in, what, 108?
Yeah, we had like three of those
Three of them.
rooms. Yeah. We was trying to, you know, do a whole movement. The same with you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is why I feel like I'm here today, because me and you, we shared a lot of the same traits. You know,
Absolutely.
we had a lot of visions, a lot of the same goals, and just making a big movement for Dallas. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then let's not forget around the corner, Bud and JT.
Yeah. Now, facts. Bud and JT. Yeah. Look, dang.
You realize that's why I said that
Sheesh.
building almost somebody should make it a landmark. If things
Right.
go well, because Mo 3 came through there.
Hey,
Trap Boy Freddy, Yellow Beezy.
Yeah.
You know, everybody that's a somebody in the city, in the mainstream, came through that building.
Through that building. We might need to get together and go get that little area.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
Make it like Motown.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, for people who may not be familiar with Gumbo, you are a producer.
Right.
And congratulations on your Billboard plaque with Trey Songz.
Thank you.
Hey, man, kind of talk about that record, man, and what does it mean to receive that plaque?
Man, it means everything. You know, we've been in this industry, in this game a long time, and to finally get recognition and a reward, you know, it means everything to me. You know, it solidifies that, you know, I'm here.
Yeah.
And hard work does pay off. So with the whole Trey Songz situation, you know, I remember getting the opportunity to produce for Trey Songz back in 2015. And his album didn't drop till 2020. So just to show you, I've been working on that, trying to get a placement on his album that long within that time span, 2015 to 2020.
People, when they think of production, don't realize like everything that goes on behind the scenes to get a placement. Like, I've interviewed Jay Oliver. I also interviewed, you know what I'm saying, Legacy. You know what I'm saying? And just the idea of placement, people just think beats get out there and they just get on songs, but it is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. To be honest with you, it's a lot of politics too. But it's about who you know, because there's a lot of talent out there. So if you know the right people, they can get your music in the right hands.
Gotcha.
So you got a good product, you know, you got to have the talent. But to solidify that placement, you got to know the right people.
Gotcha.
So with Jay Oliver, you interviewed Jay Oliver. Jay Oliver was somebody I came across past around 2015. And, you know, I sent him the song for Trey Songz, Tug of War, on his Back Home album. I sent him the production for that back in 2016. And, you know, I was like, yo, do something with this. You know, we're trying to finish this, you know, this production and get a placement with, you know, Trey or whatnot. He was like, all right, bet, send me some stuff. So I sent him that. He gets to it later, like 2017, late 2017, 2018. And that's when we got word that, yo, Trey was vibing to the record. He sent it to, shout out to Troy Taylor. He sent it to Troy Taylor. Troy Taylor added his vibes to it and got it to Trey. And that's how it made it to album. But it didn't come out until 2020.
Wow.
So a record that started years ago didn't come out till 2020. Yeah.
As a producer, being that things don't always, it can be such a delay before it comes out. Do you ever fight with like any type of like depression or feeling of like, man, like things not going my way? Because it's such a long time. Do you?
Yeah, like you deal with insecurities, like you feel like you're not good enough. And you feel like, you know, like, dang, maybe I'm just not hot. Maybe they're just not vibing with me. Maybe I just need to stop. But to be honest with you, a lot of my records that I've received accolades for started years before they even made it.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just to give a little encouragement to producers, sometimes you're ahead of the time. You know, so you're ahead of the sound. So, you know, my first placement, sheesh, I did a record back in 2018. Didn't come out until, 2008. It didn't come out until 2012, 2013. And it's like, dang, all that time passed by. But at the same time, it just shows that you were ahead of the sound. So you ahead of your time. So be encouraged, keep going, because maybe you're ahead of your time. You know, gotcha. Maybe you creating sauce that everybody ain't gonna pick up until later.
That's real.
Yeah.
So I want to get Gumbo before Gumbo became Gumbo, man.
Oh,
the
man.
beginning of the journey. Who was Gumbo before the music and just the journey into who you are today?
Gumbo before Gumbo was a passionate dreamer. Gumbo loved music, and he still do. But he was a scrub. He was living in shadows of other people, other men. For example, I used to be known as my older brother's brother. Like, hey, you D Busy's brother, or you know, you're Trey's brother. You know, you're so and so's little brother, because they were doing music too. And also, you know, as I started growing, oh, you're Kirk Franklin's guy's son, or you're Kirk Franklin's boy, because Kirk, you know, I've known him since I was like 13. He took me under his wing. So a lot of people knew me from Kirk Franklin or his son, Carry-On. So it's like, yeah, you Kirk's boy. So it's like, yeah, you know, that's me. As I continue to grow, you know, move out, have my own place, have my own, you know, job card, you know, just getting on to becoming a man, I started establishing a name for myself. It was actually, shout out to Carry-On Franklin. It was actually Carry-On who helped me come up with the name Gumbo. It was supposed to be a production team, but, you know, I was the only one doing the beats. So, you know, I was just called Gumbo, you know, because it's all in one pot. They started seeing I could do all genres. So all genre in one man. Let's mix it up in a pot, call it Gumbo.
Damn, that's dope.
Yeah.
As long as I know you, I never knew that.
Dang. God, man, we got to kick it sometime. Go for a drink or something. Hey, man, come on, man.
Hey, man, there we go.
It can't always be business, man. We got to kick it, man.
For sure. So, like, you growing up in a family of musicians, what inspired the family to actually, where do you think that talent came from, that drive for music in your family?
Sheesh. Well, my father was a musician.
Okay.
He was like the music director for his church. He was a pastor and all that. I was 3 years old when he put me on the drum set, man. He put my oldest brother on the guitar, D Busy, he was a year older than me. He put him on the piano, the keyboards, and he put me on the drums. So all I remember is music.
Wow.
You know, and it came from a church background.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's all I know. Like, you know, I worked my jobs and this and that, but I always fell back on doing music. I always continued to do music, which made a way for me to provide for me and my family.
Gotcha. Growing up in a spiritual household, dad, a pastor, just the life and the upbringing, what was that like for you growing up?
Man, it was weird because it's like we was always at church.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We was always at the Christian church. And, you know, Monday through Sunday or whatever, Sunday through Friday, Saturday, whatever, we was some type of revival, some type of, you know, church going or whatever. You know, I was 3. Well, I was living in Indiana. We moved to Texas when I was around 3 too. So, you know, that's when around the age my parents were splitting and going through the divorce process. And my mama kept me in church. So my mama was a part of the choir, the praise team, the music, you know, all of that extra stuff. So it's like we never had a life outside of church. When they discovered that we were musically talented, yeah, we was definitely at church even more. So rehearsals, choir directing.
Were y'all getting paid?
Yeah, at that time, no. we were not getting paid. Look, we was just working for free. Man. You feel me? But as you know, as I got older, when I became a man, I worked at a church. I was a music director and I got paid. Okay. So I got a check every week. And I say, thank God. You know, y'all not going to be taking all my time and not cut me no check.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's what it was like, man. That's all, you know, it just seems like that's all we did was in church singing, harmonizing. But I will say that's where a lot of my musical talents come from.
Gotcha.
And just like I said, at 13, you know, I met Kirk Franklin. Being under his wing, going to the studio with him, going on tours with him, his performances and all of that, just being a fly on the wall, I learned a lot just from being a part of that experience. So just being under that general, just, you know, is why I know a lot of the musical things I know today.
Got you. So being that music was first nature is all you know, what was the aha moment that music professionally is what you wanted to pursue?
Shit, when I started getting paid. It's a high demand. You know, a lot of people want to do music. A lot of people want to sing. A lot of people want to produce. But a lot of people don't have the gift. You know what I'm saying? They may have some knowledge, but they don't have the gift. And the gift is something that you can't teach. It's only given. So with that being said, a lot of things that I've done, I already knew how to do. It just needed to be polished a little. So like harmonizing chords, that's something I picked up on my own. I never took a music lesson in my life. I never took a piano lesson in my life. I never took a drum lesson, music theory, none of that. But when it was explained to me, it was like, oh, that's like doing so-and-so. I'm literally the drumline kid. Literally the drumline kid. When I was working next door to you, I was working on Pro Tools, a DAW that I've never used before, but it made sense. And I got it just like that. And I only went to college to solidify what I was doing.
Gotcha.
Get what I'm saying? On papers. So college really didn't teach me nothing. It's a good program, but when you have that gift, it's just going to come out. Some things you can't teach. You can't teach the gift.
No, that's real. It's almost kind of like basketball, right?
Facts.
It's some people basketball is one of those sports some people are born to play it.
Right.
And with fundamentals and teaching certain things, they become crazy. And then there's some people, they can go to all the basketball camps, they can learn the fundamentals, but they just don't have
They just don't have it. Uncoordinated, don't know how to drum, don't know how to breathe and dribble at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, that was actually my first love. Like I loved basketball at one point to where I thought I was going to play for the NBA. But at an early age, a freshman year, it was like, nah, bruh, that ain't it. That ain't your calling, you know? So, yeah, I just stuck with music, man.
Now, you speak on Kirk Franklin.
Yes, sir.
That relationship, like, man, I know you touched on it earlier, but how did you meet Kirk Franklin and where do y'all relationship stand now and what impact did he have on you?
I met Kirk Franklin through his son, Kerryon Franklin. Me and him were like best friends.
Gotcha.
You know, when you saw him, you saw me. When you saw me, you saw him. And we met like at a church we used to go to. And, you know, it was one event that I went with Kerryon, his son, and I met Kirk. And he introduced me to Kirk. I showed him my beats, and he was just blown away. That was the time when like Fruity Loops, FL Studio stuff was start coming about. And I showed him I was making my beats on that, and his mind was blown because before then, you know, we was making beats on MPC, drum machines, keyboards. But I was like, nah, it's a software called FL Studio. Like I'm making beats on at that time. I don't use FL Studio, by the way. But at that time, so I got real cool with Kirk at that time. Up until let's see where our relationship is now. Up until 22. 22, between 18 and 22 was a lot of things that happened between Kirk and his son's relationship. I'm not going to go too much in detail about. But at the same time, it just caused that relationship to kind of like split between him and I because me and Kerryon was best friends.
Gotcha.
So when that relationship between him and his son started to wither away, so did me and his relationship. And it was
him as far as him and you and Kirk.
Me and Kirk.
Kerryon? Okay.
Well, me, Kirk, and Kerryon. Kerryon had his own past in certain things in life. We had disagreements. You know, at 22 was the age I got married.
Gotcha.
I've been married for 13 years. Shout out to my boo, Raja. I love you, baby. And my 5 kids. Same mama, same wife, you know what I'm saying? So, but at that time, let's see. Kerryon, he was in and out of my life. So with that being said, at 22, I got married. That's when me and Kerryon split ways.
Gotcha.
Me and Kirk split ways at the same time. No hatred or nothing. It's just, you know, you grow in pains. You just grow apart in certain relationships. So, So with that being said, it's like our relationship is not as tight as it used to be, but it's I'm there. Like we talked last year sometime. Kirk called me, carry on as well, and no hatred, no love lost. It is what it is. We're just grown men. I'm 35 now, so it's like it's not really there. Gotcha. You feel me? But it's not no hatred. It's not no. I wish him the best.
For sure. So then you move on to your own path. Now you doing music professionally, and if people don't know, like your harmonies, your style, that R&B fused in with this, like the new sonics. Like you said, your sonics is really beyond. It's in its own lane because it don't really sound like something today, but it fits. I don't know. It's timeless.
Right.
You have a knack to creating timeless music that transcended generations. Like you said earlier, you have a knack to create something that's 4 years ago that can still be relevant today, and in future. Not everyone has that talent.
Right. It's about studying though. There's a process. Like if anybody watching this who's a aspiring producer, or whatever, you got to study the Billboard charts. You feel me? I feel like you can get Billboard awards if you're studying Billboard charts, but also adding your flavor to what's hot right now in the industry. So if everybody like the tight 808 sounds with the trap drums, cool. Take that, right? But incorporate your sauce. Now add some R&B melody chords, R&B vibes to it, and let's see what happens. It's like experimenting, mixing some chemicals together to see what you get, but knowing the right solution. I'm listening. For example, a lot of people won't listen to the Billboard charts or listen to the radio and be like, I noticed that the numbers are very high for records that have a BPM between 125 and 128. I noticed that a lot of songs that are top 10 are in the key of G major. A lot of people ain't doing that type of study and putting those puzzles. I'm like, okay, hey, let's do it in this key. This is a common key that a lot of people like to sing in. This is a common BPM that a lot of people like to dance to. Let's put that together. Now add your sauce to it.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying? So it takes a lot of studying, but it also implying your own talent on top of what the people already like.
So with that being said, then, and while you was talking, I was thinking this. Is there, I want to say cheat code, but like if somebody got a mathematician and went back like the last 20 years and look at the BPMs for the last 20 years and look at the notes for the last 20 years, is there a pattern that predicts what the next wave of notes and BPM will be for hits? So if you look at Billboard, your top 10 hits, is it a pattern like the BPM progresses every 10 years by 10 BPMs?
Yeah.
It jumped from this note to this note, then go back to this note.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it is in the same range. But at the same time, that's something I ain't studied yet, though, from 20 years ago to like as far as the BPMs from then to now. But I do know a lot of them are in the same BPMs. The difference is between with this era is we doubled everything.
Gotcha.
So where the BPM was probably popping at 80 BPM, right now we're doing 80 BPM, but we're working with a double beat, which is 160 BPM.
Gotcha.
You feel me? So a lot of stuff, like even with the West Coast vibes, what's popping in the West Coast vibes is between 100 to 110 BPM. Well, a lot of producers will double that. It's 200 to 220 BPM. But at the same time, it's the same thing. But that extra rhythm in the double adds an extra bounce to it to give you a little more dancing flavor. Gotcha. You feel what I'm saying? We fill in those cadences either with melody or percussion, which will give it that salt. So that's why we're able to sample from old time and apply it to today's era music, and it still fits.
Gotcha.
It's just a little more sauce on it.
Now, you have a working relationship with Eric Bellinger.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Eric Bellinger, YFS.
Man, he rock with you heavy, that whole YFS camp. Man, kind of explain that, man. How did y'all come together, and how did you lock in with Eric Bellinger?
Man, shout out to my co-producer, my business partner, my brother, my ride or die, my shooter, Justin Walker, a.k.a. Mr. Ball in Hills. I'm going to always shout him out on that because that was a huge success for him. He was on BET's show, Ball in Hills. But anyways, Justin Walker, man, I met Justin Walker through Kirk Franklin.
Okay.
So it was at the time Justin Walker was doing Baldwin Hills and was shooting, and Kirk was on the show at Baldwin Hills. At that time, he developed a relationship with Justin, brought him to Dallas, and introduced me to Justin. I had just gotten, I wasn't married. It was before I got married. And I had to have been 20 or 21. But either way, he introduced me to him. And from there, you know, Justin Walker had just co-wrote Damage for Danity Kane.
Gotcha.
So he let me hear the acapella to it, what they was working on, and I was blown away. I showed him what I was working on, and we developed a relationship over the years. So him and Eric Bellinger are cousins. His family grew up together. So at the time being, he introduced me to Eric Bellinger at a young age because I didn't start working with Eric Bellinger until 2015, the end of 2015.
Gotcha.
And I signed a deal with YFS. But prior to that, around 2007 maybe, he introduced me to Eric Bellinger. And it was a race. He ended up winning the race, but it was a race. Whose artist we're working with is going to end up on top. I was working with an artist here in Dallas. He was working with Eric Bellinger. I was like, look, this is what we did today. Oh, so what? This is what we did today. Well, he won because Eric Bellinger was on top. But 2015, I'll never forget this story. Vine was popping at that time. And I took a loop that Eric Bellinger did from Vine. I downloaded and I added it to a beat that I was making. And I had him fill in the gap with the beat I had already was making. And I built a beat all around what he was singing within that 6-second video and made a complete song, right? I sent it to my boy Justin. Yo, this is crazy. He sent it to Eric Bellinger. Yo, this is crazy. Y'all, man, y'all are sick. Y'all doing things. So Justin was like, yo, you got to get to LA, bro. Cool. I saved the last little $300. I'll never forget the story, man. $350. I saved, that's all I had in my bank account. Me and my wife got in a huge argument. Like, don't take this money. This is all we got. Like, big money. You know, we probably had some cash around. I don't want y'all thinking I'm just left there with nothing. But $350 is all we had in our account. And I was like, babe, trust me. The reason why I'm not successful is because you don't support me. If you was on my team and support me, this would be so much easier. But because I've been doing it all by myself, I've been failing. I need your support. We argued all night. It was crazy, bro. And then it was like the next day, she was like, you know what? You right. You said something and you're 100% right. I never did fully support you. Take the money, babe. I was like, trust me, I'm coming back with a bag. So I go to LA. I meet Eric Bellinger. He had Tyrese in the studio, all these big Vine stars, social media stars. Neiman Johnson, his manager, was in there. I walk in and they just vibing, listening to the song that I made off of Vine. And I'm just sitting here like, yo, this is dope. And they was like, bruh, when they stopped the beat, it was like, yo, where's that guy? Like, what's his name who made this song? And my bro Justin was like, this is nigga right here, Gumbo. And I was like, hey, what's up, y'all? And I was like, yo, nigga, that shit is crazy. What? They was just, just giving me, the congrats and praise and all of that shit. And I was like, yeah, man, that's me. So they was like, yo, play that shit back. And they kept playing it over. Neiman walks me in the hallway, me and Justin in the hallway. It's like, we want to sign y'all dudes to a production deal. So from 2015, we signed with YFS. And, it was a nice little 2-year deal. But I made that promise to my wife and I kept it. I came back with a bag.
There you go.
I came back with a bag. And it was like from then on, my wife fully 100%, no doubt, no lip, no argue, supports me. If I say, babe, I got to go out of town for this, okay, just let me know. I'll pack your bags. I get your itinerary, get everything for you together. I don't have to ask her for nothing. Since then, she's been successfully supporting me, man. So a lot of this accomplishments, I have to give shout out to my wife. A lot of this where I'm at today is because I had a wife who helped me, who supported me, man. So that's my story with YFS, man. From there, my career just took off.
Dope.
Yeah.
Recently, I don't know if you heard this story or not, but T-Pain told a story. He was on an airplane, and Usher was on that airplane. And he was saying him and Usher was cool. They thought he was friends. Usher calls T-Pain to the send the flight attendant like, hey, Usher want to talk to you. He said he went and sat next to Usher, and Usher's like, man, you killing R&B. It's you killing it. It's dying because of you, because of the auto-tune.
Wow.
And he was like, man, that hurt him, which sent him into depression, that sent him to drinking.
I know what you're talking about.
Do you feel auto-tune had a lot to do with the blow to R&B?
Hell no. And no, I don't feel that way. Because auto-tune was out before T-Pain. Celine Dion used autotune. Mary used autotune. So many different artists had autotune on their vocals before it was even popping by T-Pain. T-Pain, he just had the swag. Look at where it is today. You can't get nothing out right now and have it popping on the charts without it being perfect pitch. Period. Today, to this day, no record right now is number one right now without being perfect pitch. Here's a definition of autotune, because I know a lot of folks is going to come back and say some shit. Perfect pitch, that's melodyne, pitch editing. So that means if I go a melodyne and I raise it up your vocals of the song, they say, oh, it sounds more natural. Well, guess what? That's still perfect pitch. You got that, and you got a Zappin' Roger, who used a voice box, a talk box. It's the same thing, perfect pitch. When you hit that key, no matter what comes out of your mouth, it's going to come out in the key of that sound. Everybody's been doing it. The difference is T-Pain had swag when he did it. Now everybody wants that swag. He changed the game. It ain't no downfall in R&B. It's just a lot of folk can't sing, so they decide to rap. Rappers was popping, cool, but they always got somebody singing on the hook. They got auto-tune. Usher's still popping. Usher uses auto-tune.
What are we working on now? So the Billboard plaque is here, and we should have sat that boy up and had it in the back. Wasn't even thinking
it's in the next room right here, though.
You know what I'm saying?
You wanted me to get it.
Don't worry about it. We
okay,
cool. We'll take a picture of it with you and then put it on the thumbnail.
Bet.
Getting this Billboard, man. So what's in the horizons now? Like what's next up for Gumbo? Like what is the goal with Gumbo this year, 2022, approaching?
The first thing is going back and getting these billboards. This one billboard taught me that there's 3 companies who were licensed certified to create plaques for the music industry.
Gotcha.
So the first thing is going back and to get the plaques of projects and albums that I worked on, because I didn't know how that was done. In my mind, I thought like labels sent them out to you.
Gotcha.
Nah, you got to order them things. I didn't know that. So that's first things first. That's first things first. And just getting back with everything owed to me so, I can flex a little bit. I feel like part of that is the reason why my city don't know who I am, because I don't have the rewards. You have to go research it.
What producers, my bad to cut you off, what producers in Dallas actually feel like stand in the forefront? Because it seems like almost like when you find out stuff break here, you don't even know they're here. Like Jay White.
Right.
You didn't know he here. And even after that, you still forget he's here. It's almost like you need a celebrity. It got to be a celebrity producer.
Well, Jay White he's kind of here. Like, for example, Jay White is not from Dallas. You know what I'm saying? He moved here, but he's not from Dallas. And then a lot of his work, you don't really see him here. Gotcha. It's like other places, LA, Atlanta, stuff like that. But at the same time, this is home. This is where his family's at.
Right.
This is home. Me and Jay White, shout out to Jay White. Me and Jay White, we did a song together called Valet. Eric Bellinger featuring Fetty Wap and 2 Chainz. And it was a song that was already done by Jay White. That he already did with Pleasure P and Eric Bellinger and stuff like that. And Eric had got 2 Chainz and Fetty Wap on it. And I got awoken, by the way, this is a short story, awakened by Eric's call. It's like, yo, we need to switch up. 2 Chainz wants to switch up on this part of the beat. Can you do it? Bet. It was Sunday morning. I'll never forget. I did the little switch up and all of that, submitted it, and it got accepted. So now I got accolades with Eric Bellinger, 2 Chainz, and Fetty Wap. But me and Jay White, like we've always like we tapped in with each other. Like I got old messages that me and him used to message each other. What's up, bro? How you doing? Yo, send me this. You know, we gotta work, this and that. But he's not originally from here.
Got you.
What he had to do is what every producer wants to do, and that's break a new artist. And you know, his happened to be Cardi B when she was on Love and Hip Hop, and that shit ended up flying off, being successful.
Right.
You know, mine, I haven't broke a brand new artist shit. But with him, you see, he's still doing the interviews. You know, he had back-to-back hits,
Yep.
Megan Thee Stallion too, all of that. But you see that they're more popping than he is.
Right.
You feel me? We as producers, we got to do more things to make ourselves relevant, to get more respect. So, which is why, you know, I talked to my team. It's like, what do I got to do? They was
Interviews.
like, interviews. And it was like, shit, the first person we went to was like, yo, hit up Big D. We got to hit him up, man, because we know that you're affiliated in that world. We know that you got a good, you got a good, you know, business going on with your interviews and all of that. So it's like, hell, I'm down, man. Like, I don't know, like, how he might feel interviewing me. And it was like, nah, he's down. We finna put this in a group message. We family, man. We need to get back together and start working. I was like, I'm down, man. This is what we always wanted.
For sure.
You know, you brought me in. I'm here because of you. You brought me in, and it was like it started when we was over there on Leo Lane on that Sunbelt, man. And it was like you saw my drive, I saw your drive, you know, and we was just like, yo, let's turn it up, man. Let's get it going. And then you ventured off, and all I know was production. So I just stayed on, you know. You became successful. I'm becoming successful. And it's
you
like...
are successful.
Okay, thank you.
Come on, man. Who else can walk around with a billboard?
I mean, not even that, because the billboard doesn't determine the checks. Facts. Who else can do this full-time and feed a wife and 5 kids? Real you know what I'm saying? So, you know, but at the same time, you know, a lot of that, to be honest with you too, you play a lot of part in my growth. You know, seeing you move out here. I seen you marry your wife. I seen you have your first child out here. Like, I seen your whole story. I seen the weight loss process, all of that, your business ventures, everything, man. And it's like, shoot, a lot of that played a part in how I move today. You know, you may not know it, but I walk a lot. You might be one of these calf muscles here. You know what I'm saying? Or one of these toes or something. But you played a part in that, because I was like, man, he's doing it like this. I want to move like that too and be successful. So, but we got to do a lot more stuff because we're the man behind the scene. Yeah. To be recognized, you know, so.
I think we live in a world right now. To make it, to really have a hold on the game,
right?
Out of sight, out of mind. That is the game. And unfortunately, managers used to play a role when they behind the scene. Mm-hmm. Now you seeing managers doing more interviews than the artists.
Facts.
But it makes sense. Because as a manager, an artist can drop you at any moment.
Facts. That's true.
So if you create a brand behind your management, you a brand now. People tap in it, and producers the same way. You've been around behind it. Y'all finally jumped in and start adding y'all tags. Now it's time for producers start. People need to be able to put a face to the beats now.
A&Rs too.
Yep.
You know, yeah. I mean, the thing with managers too, a lot of the managers who started out with the artists who are popping now, they started out as best friends. Yep. They came up with the hood, so they know all the dirt. Yep. They know all the secrets. They know what it took to get them where they are today. Facts. Those are the loyal ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard for me to just say, somebody, you're fired. That's like a breakup. We're going to talk first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you're 100% correct.
I know. I want to address the elephant in the room because, like, what most people may not know, you know what I'm saying? We are at G5 Studios. Mm-hmm. And G5 used to be Mogul Media for a moment. Well, Mogul Media used to be this building, and then G5 took over. Right. And a lot of people always ask, like, man, why you left?
Wow, I left?
No, why I left the studio space. Why everything transitioned the way it did.
I might need to interview you for that.
But we can listen. We can add this question now. Why we here?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
But I'm gonna be honest. When you met me, when we was over in Leo, I was engineering. I had my artist.
Dang, you was engineering.
I had Boogie. I had Street. I had Gun.
Yeah.
And I was in love with the process because I was actually a part of it. And most people don't realize, bro, I never really got a studio to try to become a big studio where it was open to book time.
Got you.
My vision was really just to have a space to work with my own. But money start coming in. Next thing you know, my vision was rearranged. Start focusing on the money. And then I looked up and I was like, bro, I haven't touched, engineered, recorded, nothing. And Boogie gone. He moved to Houston. Street, my guy, but not being consistent at all. You know what I'm saying? Gun off, traveling, doing this thing. At this time, Aloha going crazy with him and T10K. And I'm here. And I kept telling myself, like, bro, I don't have a passion for it.
Right.
And I never wanted to. I knew my superpower and I knew my weakness.
Right.
My superpower is I'm just like you. I'm a visionary. I can put things together.
Right.
My weakness is I do not like managing over people. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way.
I'd rather just kind of like let me do my thing. We come together. We do some stuff together, but then let me go back and do my thing. To get a bunch of people to motivate them to have the same vision, even though they all have their own individual visions, that's taxing on me. And I don't want anybody to feel enslaved to my vision. And at that time, and then too, I was having nightmares at the studio. It was getting dangerous for me. You know what I'm saying? You know, certain things was happening that I didn't like out of here. Yeah. And my fear at home, it was when my phone rang from somebody from the studio at 2 a.m. Yeah. I was scared. I'm gonna wake up. Somebody got shot.
Hey, look, that was almost a real scenario too. While you was out of here, I'm not gonna go in details about it, but at the same time, I feel you 100%. I don't like managing my artists. They put me in them situations where I gotta connect the producers, get the deals, get the paperwork, make sure you're here on time. And that's like I don't like that. It's damn near micromanaging. So I totally, and with the fear of the somebody got shot and this and that, everybody who comes in the studio, when I meet them, it ain't even got to be my session, because I'm really where I don't take sessions still. I know when I came with you, I told you, look, you ain't hiring no engineer. Look, I ain't here to engineer. So it's like, I'm not here to engineer, but I end up engineering sometimes. But when I'm here and I see my engineers engineering people, I come and talk with the engineer. How you feel about the vibe? What you think? Like, they love the vibe and this and that. And I let them know, this is peace grounds. Look, if you end up running into somebody you may have beef with, take that out of here. We're trying to make this environment for my kids. Last night, my wife and my kids was here for the little ceremony we had that G5 threw me. But we try to make this environment peaceful. Right. You know what I'm saying? There was only one incident I can say with G5 here that there was something, it was a little crazy. But it had nothing to do with us. It had something to do with the people, the artists who booked the session. Leave that out. That was handled. Don't bring that here, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Gotcha. That was handled. So I 100% understand where you're coming from. Me, where I am with my faith and understanding, I can't do nothing to avoid that. If it's my time to go, it's my time. Absolutely. And at the same time, whether I'm here or there, it's going to happen. I got to continue to do what I know to do to continue to provide for my family. And that's fair. And you're doing something that you love. Right. See, me, I felt this wasn't something I loved. It became a money grab for me. And that's what I'm saying is that I was going through the motions more for the profit, not because when I started for the love, the being around engineering. It wasn't just the engineering, because I wasn't the best engineer, but it was the camaraderie. I was with my friends. This was like my man cave away from home. These was my guys. It was that to a business I didn't like. See, so that part for me. That's the thing then. Then I had to be 100% real with you. When you left, bro, you hurt me, bro. Because to be honest with you, I'm here because of you. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Like, first I was just booking out sessions like, hey, can I get in your studio, man? I got this artist. She was like, yeah, bet. I take care of you, and we did business that way. And then when I was ready to look for my own thing, you was like, bro, just come here. Help me out here. And blah, blah, blah. And I was like, bet, I'm here. So, and then when you left, it was like, prior to that, before you leaving, we had a meeting. And you was like, he was like, I believe in y'all. I'm here to help y'all and blah, 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 stuff like that. So I'm like, cool. Because I was ready to give the keys too. I was like, hey, D, I ain't no engineer. Like, I teach this shit. I'm teaching these niggas how to do this shit. Here, you can have these keys.
Right.
But you was like, nah, let's figure it out. So it's like, cool. He's with it. And then when you left, I'm not even gonna lie. Everybody who is still here, when you left, we all was brokenhearted. Cause it's like, dude, you left us hanging, man. Like we here because we believed in your dream and your vision. And it's like, what do we do? But I say that to say this. Hearing what you say now, I feel like we should have had to sit down. We should have been homies and be like, yo, can we do lunch? Can we have a drink? I want to talk to you about this. Why I made this decision? Because it makes sense. I hate being a part of shit that I don't love. You feel me? My wife can tell you. My homies can tell you. Even coming up in the hood niggas can tell you. When I didn't feel like doing something, I'm not going to do it. And I totally understand where you're coming from. When you're like, I didn't love it. I love the process of it. But, I didn't love that business. I didn't love that, the thing. I get that. I wasn't given a chance to hear that. It was just, hey, I'm not going to be here no more. And, and it's like, what? I'm taking this and that, and I'm taking this equipment. What?
But technically,
whoa!
I just took really what I started with.
I got you.
Before we merged.
I got you. I feel you. Here's a grown man telling you, D, I was heartbroken. Now, what you gonna do with that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like as a homie, as a friend, as a business partner, it's like, damn, nigga, like, you told me you believe in me. You know what I'm saying? And this and that. I met G through you.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like G5, and he was putting me on a John Doe and all of them. And I was like, all right, cool. I met Gary, Big G. But it was like, damn, I only know Big G because of Big D. D comes before the G. There's a bar in there somewhere.
Facts. I look at it like this. My analogy and my epiphany is the airplane. Mm. When you get on the airplane and go through the safety protocol, they say in case of an emergency, which will rarely happen, or the chamber decompresses and you need oxygen.
Right.
The oxygens will deploy. If you have a little one next to you or somebody elderly
help
that needs assistance, first. Put yours on. Yeah. Then you can help assist the people to society. That was my epiphany. Right now, I felt like I couldn't help because I was out of love.
Gotcha.
I was inconsistent. Or how I was doing things. I was all over the place with ideas. And the ideas was coming from more of a money grab, not because of the love and the camaraderie.
Hey, I hear you. And listen, I'm with you. Bro, you ain't even got to explain.
But what I'm saying all that to say is, when you talk about help, I circle back.
Right.
Because now I was able to go find something and sit with people from all walks of life and build that camaraderie and hear those stories. And what better time to come sit down with you
than now? Yeah. I mean, let's be 1,000 with it. You had girlfriends before you had your wife.
Facts.
That's the same thing.
Facts.
And it's understandable. I just feel like we didn't have that chance to chop it up about that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I felt like you got to understand where I'm coming from. Like, damn, nigga, I came here. I could have started my own shit. Like, why am I here and you leaving? The fuck? But it's like, you know what? I tell you, I'm going to humble down and I'm going to just continue to build. We're going to do some great things here.
Absolutely.
But I didn't get your side of the story. I only got what you gave me. So when you was like, I remember when you came back, you was like, man, Gumbo don't even fuck with me no more. He don't even follow me. It's not even that. You dealing with a nigga who's brokenhearted because his homie broke his heart and didn't tell him why. You feel me? So it's like, we still ain't chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing it now, and it's like, I totally understand. That's why I gave that analogy. Yeah. It's like having girlfriends before you have your wife. You was like, yeah, I'm not really feeling that, so I'm not going to be committed to that. I'm not feeling that, I'm not going to be committed to that. Like, this ain't what I'm really about. But do you meet that one? That's what I'm about, and I want to do this. How do I let them know that? Like, I can't deal with you no more. What happens is those girls are brokenhearted. As they get older, they understand. They eventually can put two pieces. This wasn't the one for me. Well, not to sound all homo and shit, but it's like, that ain't what I'm trying to, no homo. But at the same time, it's like, damn, we boys, like shit. come holler at me and be like, look, Gumbo, my passion ain't into this. My passion is here, and this is what I want to do. You know what? I feel that.
But I think the other reason why at that time I couldn't do that, because I didn't know exactly when. Because I was talking about going to law school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
I'm sitting here trying to do all these, these LSAT tests. Mm-hmm. That shit was kicking my ass, and I'm like,
because you was in mortgaging.
And I'm still doing that.
Okay, cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, I'm gonna do this LSAT. So me and my wife doing the pre-test stuff, man, and I was like, yeah. But I started doing the interviews, and next thing you know.
But that's the thing, though. I'm finding, hey, Gumbo, I'm trying to find me right now.
Yeah.
My heart is not in this. I'm trying to find me, and being a man of understanding, I understand it. Like, there's a lot of things I ventured out of because I got into mortgaging.
Yeah.
That ain't me.
You was at Penny Mac, right?
Huh, Penny Mac, yeah.
I'm there now.
Yeah. Oh, for real? Yeah. I chunked in the deuce. I said, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You cool, and fuck you, and I'm out. Because this is where I'm at.
Yeah.
At Penny Mac, I can make a check every 2 weeks.
We're going to take this part out. Just
okay, cool.
Get that type of airline.
Well, I put it like this. In the retail, in the mortgaging, and the customer service, I can make a check every 2 weeks, and that wasn't for me.
Gotcha.
My wife and I came to an understanding with the music. Whenever we need it, you can make it. Somebody's always needed some music, some mixing, some recording, some mastering. Yep. She said, baby, one thing I love about you is whenever we needed it, you made it and you got it done. And that's my gift. My gift made a way for me. So I just stuck to what I'm good with. 1 month, I might make $2,000. The next month, I might make $20,000. 1 month, I might make $5,000. 1 month, I might make $1,500. Another month, I might make $700. $7,000. You just never know with this industry. But that's why I work hard. There's no time limit. I don't check in, clock out. When I wake up, I'm handling business. When I shut it down, I'm shutting it down, sending emails, handling business. The only times I'm not working, shout out to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, is because I keep the Sabbath.
There you go.
And whatever holy days, feast days, the Bible tells me to keep. It's the only times I don't do no sessions, no work, no nothing.
Gotcha.
And I've been profitable because of that.
Hey, man, well, I tell you what, bro. I'm glad we had a chance to sit down.
Man, I'm so glad. You don't even understand to a whole nother level. Like I told you earlier, you played a bigger part in who I am as a man today and my success. And because we had the conversation and the understanding, now I have an understanding, I can be at peace with things and we can grow from here. Because you're a man just like I am, bro.
For sure.
You're not perfect. You making mistakes. I'm not perfect. I make my mistakes. But at the end of the day, we learn, we grow, and we know how to communicate with each other. That's what it's all about.
Hey, man. Well, I tell you what, Gumbo, thank you, man, for your patience, your understanding.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on the accolades. Many more to come.
Thank you.
Shout out to G5 Studios, man.
Yes, sir.
And anytime, man, you ready to sit down. Now that we got the story out the way, we got the accolades out the way, these next interviews gonna be lit because we just gonna talk music gossip.
Yeah.
Business gossip, not personal life gossip.
Hey, look, when I'm ready to spill some beans too, next it would be probably about the faith and religion and stuff.
Hey.
Well, I gotta get built up first though, but I'm coming for all them preachers, all them pastors who are indoctrinating all my people to keep us at a lower state. Eventually one day, if the Lord allows me with the platform I'm in, the music, to get to a place where I have a respect of my people, where I can say some stuff, I'm not going to fall back like Nick Cannon.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to fall back by a lot of these celebrities who say we're the chosen people of Israel and then all of a sudden change up the story. Nah, you can't be Semitic when you are Sem people. We're Semites. We're Shem. Noah had 3 sons, Ham, Japheth, and Shem. We come from Shem. Black and white folks come from Shem. Asians come from Shem. I can't be Shem or Semitic folk if I come from Shem. So us saying that we the true people of Israel, we the real Jews, yeah. But when I get older and get built up, we're going to have that conversation. I'm ready to spill all the beans.
Hey, for sure, man. Well, Gumbo, appreciate you. It's been a pleasure until we meet again.
Yes, sir. Hit me up on Gumbo Music _ on Instagram. That's all I'm releasing. Everything else, I'm building up. But Instagram, Gumbo Music _.
Peace.
Yes, sir.